A to Z. I go by Michael Mike Check. Yeah, and this is from A to Z.
This is Kilo G. Jose the Great. This is from A to Z podcast.
My name is Christian Burgos. This is from A to Z.
Adrian Casares from A to Z.
What's up? My name is Tom Stone. This is from A to Z.
Cesar Gaddix. This is from A to Z.
Rico Alvarado. This is from A to Z.
Adam Rajapi.
We're at A to Z Studios. Shout out to A.
We are live, guys. Alright, I don't know how you guys want to start, but whoever wants to start first, if you guys can introduce yourselves, however that means to you.
Brandon, you want to do that?
Okay. So, like, my name's Brandon. I play guitar for the Nova Certainty Project. Go ahead, Micah.
I'm Micah. I'm from California, originally going to Beloit College right now, and yeah, I'm the drummer for our band. So yeah, pass it over to you.
I'm Jonas. I'm from Chicago, and I'm the bass player for Nova Certainty Project.
Yeah, and my name is Mason, and I play guitar and I sing for our band. Yeah, and we're a fairly new band and just kind of started playing live shows in Rockford, really. We got a couple planned, or we got one planned for Madison. Who's that with, Brandon?
So we're kind of talking to a couple different bands. One for sure is Gilded Cages. And another one actually just today is a new band called Hot. They're like an indie kind of like shoegaze kind of band. They're from Madison, so yeah. And we got another show June 17th at J&K Lounge here in Rockford. So
Shout out J&K.
yeah, absolutely.
Rockford is Brandon's home territory. Born and raised.
Yeah, and that's something else I wanted to get into, guys. Can you, for everybody's first episode, I like to bring it back to the origin stories for the guests. So definitely tell me where were you born, where you grew up, and then we'll get into how the band formed.
Okay.
So whoever wants to start first, take as long as it takes. You know, we're here until you guys feel like you got everything else.
Start with you, Mason. Go ahead.
All right, so where I was born, kind of where I started out. So I'm from Poplar Grove. It's about 30 minutes out of Rockford. It's in the middle of nowhere in the country. Yeah, I started getting into music at like 8. I was gifted a guitar. I started playing guitar at around 8 years old. And then since then, I've always had like just a need to write music, like a need to write. I've always wanted to have my own songs. So yeah, that's pretty much, that's all my intro really. Jonas?
Yeah, I grew up in the Chicago Northside Rogers Park neighborhood, and I first started getting into music. Like, I know I always really liked music, but my parents, like, originally I was kind of forced into piano when I was younger, and I didn't really like the whole, like, classical, like, following all the notes and stuff like that. So then I switched up to bass, and, like, when I was, like, 10, and I liked it a lot more. It just felt like there was a lot more freedom with it, like didn't have to follow as much of what's written down and all that.
Yeah, you like to slap.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Slap King, hell yeah.
Slap me later. So yeah, I'm Micah from Martinez, California. If you don't know Martinez, a couple kind of well-known things. First of all, the martini was invented there, hence the name Martinez. And Joe DiMaggio, the baseball legend, he lived there for a while too. So, but a little about myself, kind of similar story to Jonas. I got into music pretty young age, maybe 9 or 10 years old. Started with piano, took piano lessons, but kind of figured it wasn't really for me. Just kind of same thing, reading all the notes, kind of felt limiting, kind of wanted to do my own thing. So I started just looking up YouTube videos, how to play certain songs, and I really enjoyed that more, but there's still something kind of missing. So one of my family friends said he knew a drum teacher, and I was like, yeah man, I want to play drums, like so bad, I just want to bang on things. So I got in contact with him. Took drum lessons for a year. It was awesome. And then drum teacher ended up with ALS, so he couldn't play or teach anymore. So since then, I've just kind of been self-taught with that, including piano. So I played in the school bands and ensembles and everything. But yeah, as far as like music inspiration, didn't have too much because I mean my parents are very musical, but in terms of what I like with music, I kind of found that on my own. So bands like Rush, Steely Dan, Led Zeppelin, all the kind of older bands and music artists is what I'm really into. So, but
Yeah. I'm originally from the Hoffman, Schaumburg area. Moved out to this area when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I'm kind of a late bloomer when it comes to like music. I grew up loving music, and I knew I always loved music. I was originally like really into like punk bands, and like the first couple bands that I liked were like Rage Against the Machine, Slipknot, like stuff like that. And then I kind of just from there just branched off into all these different bands growing up. I started playing guitar at like 16 years old. Never had lessons. Nobody in my family played. So I kind of just did it on my own. Starting with a mini Stratocaster that I randomly found in my garage. I started learning Nirvana songs, all my basic chords. And from there, I just really watched YouTube videos, and I'm just all self-taught. Never took lessons or anything. Yeah, that's really it.
And where did you guys go to school?
So him and I went to the same high school, North Boone High School, and us three went to Beloit College. So that's how we met, the three of us, and then I knew him.
yeah, Jonas and I still go to Beloit. You just graduated.
Just graduated, yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Now, did you guys know you were gonna form a band eventually, or did it just like how did it form?
What happened was, the album that came out with, I had no intention on playing any of those live. I did that. I recorded. I used little drum samples, but everything else I did myself because I really wanted to release an album. I had all these ideas. I had a groove I was going for, and I didn't really even have the desire to play live until I met Micah and was listening to his drums, and he listened to the music on Spotify and stuff, and then we like decided that we should play these live.
So a little story how this happened. I was in the Hendricks Center, which is kind of our college's arts center, so they got pianos and a drum set and everything. So I was just kind of fiddling on the piano, composing some stuff, and this dude walks in, it's his guitar and amp and everything, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds good, man." I'm like, "Thanks." And I'm like, "There's a drum set right there. I'm mainly a drummer and everything." And so we had a little jam sesh, and he showed me some of his music, and I was like, "Dang, that's fire! Like, you should release that." And he's like, "Actually, I have a whole album." And ever since then, he wanted me to be his drummer because apparently I was not bad. So things just launched from there. They've been friends for quite some time. And then all we needed was a bass player, and I knew he played bass too. So yeah. So it went down.
Who did you guys listen to that inspired you into music?
That's a good question.
Well,
That's
I
a very
have
good question.
quite a few inspirations. I think my first inspiration had to be the Beatles. I'd listen with my dad all the time in the car. We would go get some CDs from the library, rent them out, end up keeping a couple because we forgot to turn them in. But all the better for me and my inspiration. After that, I guess the radio was a good inspiration. Kind of found out about different songs and bands through that. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I was listening on the radio, and a Rush song came on called Free Will. And I was like, what? How have I not heard this before? This is so good. It was just kind of, different from your normal radio rock music. And so I got into Rush a lot, and that kind of progressive rock and drumming, especially Neil Peart is my main drumming inspiration. And yeah, I'd just say overall, like older rock music and some jazz are really my biggest inspirations.
Yeah, you really don't hear a lot of jazz.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta really dig down into the depths to find some good jazz.
For me, like, I always kind of had like a mixed taste of music. Like, I always listened to music from all different decades, like, but I go through like weird phases, so I feel like I get my inspiration kind of from a mix of a bunch of different stuff. Like the Beatles, kind of like Micah, of course, that's my favorite band, so I'm really into all that. But then I also really like a lot of soul, like the Motown music from like the 60s and 70s. I like that a lot. And then like some of the harder stuff like grunge, like Nirvana and Foo Fighters, all that stuff, just kind of like that heavy sound mixed with that smooth, nice sound from like the 60s. And I think those two eras I got my most inspiration from, though, for sure.
So, growing up, my dad, he was big on metal music. So that's kind of where I got my intro, as well as my mom, who was really into like alternative music, like a lot of like 90s grunge and like Smashing Pumpkins, literally one of my favorite bands of all time. Like Black Sabbath, Pantera, like just a whole mix of things. And like I said earlier, like a lot of like Rage Against the Machine, a lot of punk music. And really what launched that was actually Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That was like, hearing that soundtrack was like mind-blowing for me. Because you had like a good mix of like hardcore on there. Rage Against the Machine, you had like ska music, you had rap. You kind of had a good mix of everything. And yeah, that kind of just started my love for music. A lot of video game soundtracks, and yeah, it just all kind of branched off. And nowadays I like all genres of music, rap music, even a little bit of country, folk, like just everything.
Yeah, so for me, I grew up listening to like only pop punk and Avenged Sevenfold. Those are like the only things I listened to, really. It took me a really long time to branch out, even out of high school. I was just so adamant about not listening to anything else. But totally opposite now. I listen to quite literally everything. But my biggest inspiration for writing music is, as you guys know, Unknown Mortal Orchestra is the hugest influence on why I even want to write, why I'm happy with what I've written. It's just like the biggest influence on me. It's like funk and groove and just a lot of really groovy stuff I really, really like. Stone Roses is another big influence on me. But I also listen to tons of other music. I listen to rap, country, folk. I listen to metal. I listen to hardcore. Anything I really pick out of those that I'll really like will inspire me to write or inspire me to get into another type of music, really.
Yeah, with the Unknown Mortal Orchestra, I always kind of make the joke because that guy has 2 wives, so maybe that's another reason for your inspiration.
Totally.
Now, guys, like your family members, did they approve of you getting into music, making a band, or were they cool about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. my family, like I said, like I come from a family that loves music, and you know, every room I would enter would be like a different genre of music going on and playing. Like, you know, my parents are fully supportive of, you know, my dreams as a musician. They've always been supportive.
Yeah, they've been to every
Yeah,
one
just
of our
about
concerts,
just
too.
about every show. Yeah.
They're our biggest fans,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But may I ask, does that make you like, oh my god, my parents are in the corner?
Sometimes, but you know, we're on that level now. Like, I'm 24 years old.
I
so
personally
it's-
love that they've come to every show because they like make it so fun. Like, I love playing to his parents. They're just the most
Yeah.
fun people. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily, you know, your dad isn't like the kind of guy where after's like, you messed up on a fucking riff.
Right. I don't know. Yeah.
As for my parents, I mean, yeah, they're supportive of it. They're just kind of like hands off about it. I think they're just like, yeah, that's cool, but make sure you're making money still. Make sure you're working, you know. but they like it. They think it's cool. And they like the music that we play. They've heard us live once, and they're really into it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say my mom, she's all for any kind of music that I'm into too, and like I'm in a couple ensembles and back at Beloit too. So mostly that's what she'll be, asking about too. But I'll send her some band videos, and you know, she's happy to see it and everything too.
Yeah, my parents have always supported it, especially like my dad. My dad, he was always like, he'd always get like, not mad, but he'd always be kind of egging me on, like, why don't you do more with it? Like, you just like, you have the skill, but you don't like do anything, like put it on paper, like, and stuff like that. So he definitely has always pushed me to do more, and he's definitely happy now that I'm in a band and doing more with it than I was a few years ago. So that's for sure. Yeah. And then my mom, she's like, she supports it for sure, but she's not as like passionate about that kind of stuff. But she's actually like, for our show on June 17th, she's actually gonna drive me to the show, and she's gonna watch it, which is gonna be pretty cool for sure, because my parents haven't seen me play yet with these guys. So
Wait, your mom's gonna be there?
yeah, my mom's gonna be there, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah. My mom's also a massage therapist, by the way. So
Okay, that's
if anyone from Rockford's trying to hit her up, bro.
Yeah, me. I
Get
am.
your back rubbed a bit.
Now you said June 17th, you guys got a show. Do you don't mind me asking where?
J&K Lounge.
Oh yeah, J&K Lounge.
Yep.
Now,
Downtown Rockford.
Is it easy to get gigs around Rockford, or do you guys go all around?
Well, it's definitely been kind of a challenge. It definitely is. Just even getting people to respond, it's like pulling teeth sometimes. But you know, we do our best. You know, I'll say personally, like, I kind of run that side of things. Is that fair? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, but
Yeah.
every other day he's like, hey, we might have a show at this place. And we're like, dope, man. And then the next day he's like, all right, we're booked. And I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I'm always ear to the ground when it comes to shows. Because like at my job, I'm usually just bored all day anyway. So I'll just use that time to like just research and like just do my thing, you know, just get us out there. And like notably, like, you know, shout out to Fish Head and the Bones, and yes, and Ginger Jesus as well. Yeah, they've both been like really hyping us up, and like on June 17th we're actually playing with Fish Head and the Bones. Yeah, they've been really hyping us up, helping us out. You know, they want to have us on shows and like see us out there more. So I'm really appreciative to them. It really helped us kind of break through at this entry level that we're kind of at. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
Mind me asking, how did you and Fish Head meet?
honestly, they were like, I just messaged them on Facebook. I was just like, hey, like, I really like your guys' music. Like we should play together sometime. And then they shot me back with like, oh, do you want to play this day with us? Like, come through. We ended up not being able to play that day, but we still kept in touch and everything. Like, I started going to their shows and checking them out, and they're amazing live, incredible. Yeah, they've just been super nice, super friendly toward us, so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a dope band, great guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, is there a particular particular venues you look for, or whatever gets thrown your way, whatever you catch?
Yeah, I mean, again, kind of at this entry level, we kind of have to take what we can get. We want to play for, I mean, I guess, younger crowds. I mean, you know, we've been playing a lot of these, like, open mics and stuff, and, like, you know, there's not too much that usually happens at those. We want to start playing and, like, actually booking more shows, just to, like, kind of build, like, an actually, like, dedicated fan base.
What was the first place we played?
New Mill Tap.
Yeah, New Mill Tap. Shout out New Mill Tap. They were very, very great to us, especially for our first show. They had no expectations. They like accommodated us very well, and we got such great feedback for them. And they wanted us to come back after we played, which is just like it was a really great experience. Really thankful for that.
They're definitely
100%.
very receptive toward us, for sure.
Where is that place?
It's New Milford. Yeah, on 11th Street, just way south, you know, yeah.
Now, may I ask, guys, like, when you don't see a big crowd, does that deter you from how you feel performing?
I really don't think so at all. I think no matter what, kind of people are interested in our music or not, we always just love to play. Even together, just like jamming together and practicing is always a fun time. You know, just sharing the ability to make good music with people is always going to be great. And I really don't think that it's ever going to get old for us.
Right. Yeah. A crowd is cool, but, like, we're just here to make the music, you know? Like, we're just here to play. It's the passion, really.
Yeah, honestly, we really haven't had any big crowds besides one that our very first show.
That was literally our very first show,
yeah, it was at the college bar on Beloit College campus. It was
Shout out Coffee House.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah, so otherwise since then it's just been like, you know, just people strewn about, but like it's still so fun, like just to see people's reactions or hear what they have to say about it, and it's always really nice and sweet, and really I'm really thankful like for that 100%.
Quick story about our first show ever at that place. So, like, we packed the place, like, front to back. I mean, really, like, super high energy.
I invited the whole baseball team, and it's not, you know, a team of 20 guys. It's about 45 guys. So
yeah, that on top of, like, all their friends and everything, like, incredible show. That's our best show so far, easily. But at the end of it, somebody ended up throwing a glass bottle through the window, and we so I mean
it almost hit Sammy.
It almost hit Sammy.
It was like went right over his head because he was leaning down to grab something, and it went right over his head. Effectively
got the place shut down that night.
I was actually right outside when that happened, and you know, I heard this loud shattering noise, and I look over, I'm like, what just happened? And then I see this dude, like, super drunk, just sloshed out of his mind, and he's like walking around and with a ripped shirt on, just like goes through a bush and just starts running down College Street. And the security guard comes out. He's this big old dude, and he's like, "Hey, why do you like smash my window? I'm gonna come for you." And I think what the story was, and this is just a rumor, so I don't know if it's true, but it's like apparently like he saw his ex with like another guy or something going on, so he's pissed.
I just thought it was pretty punk rock, honestly. It was pretty cool.
I was like, damn, that's crazy, but like, damn, that was kind of cool.
We need more of that. More of that.
It's funny.
Now, even though that happened, do you guys want your crowd to be safe and comfortable, or like?
Oh,
yeah.
100%. No,
Definitely
we really
safe.
don't make the music that is like for raging. To be honest, it's pretty chill. We've got a couple like harder songs. They're not even hard, but like I feel like our band is more of like vibey. It's beachy, like, and we don't want anybody going crazy. We don't want anybody getting hurt, especially to our music. It'd be really goofy if they did. Though. Really goofy.
Crowd killing the sweet.
Maybe we should do like some kind of music video, just the most mellow song, and then in the background you just have people going absolutely crazy.
Going ham. Yeah.
Add that little contrast.
Now, guys, I did want to ask you this: why the Nirvana Certainty or
Nova Certainty?
The Certainty project? Why name it that?
I named it that when I released it. The Nova Certainty project. I remember when I was younger, when like my dad got laid off, he had to sell his Nova. He had a 1969 Chevy Nova, and I told him like when I was younger that I'd like get famous and get him one. So I named it the Nova Certainty project. Like gonna get him one. Like that's what it comes from. It's like that's literally what it is. So I was like, that's cool.
I was thinking Nirvana.
Oh no, it's Nova.
Such a beautiful and sweet story.
Still haven't gotten it for him yet, so it's not sweet yet.
So guys, help us out.
yeah. So here's my.
Wait, so is the name just temporary, or it's like sealed?
Probably sealed, honestly. At this point,
I like the name.
I like it.
I think it's unique.
It's long, but it's cool.
Like you go on Google, you type in Nova Certainty Project, like for the first result. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
NCP for short.
Yeah, we like that. The NCP. I like that. That's kind of what we call it now, the NCP.
We got some NPCs in the NCP.
Yeah, definitely you.
Right here.
No, that's you, Micah.
Yeah, that's definitely Micah.
Was there a previous name before that, or that was just the name right away?
No, that was it. As soon as I made it, I made it, from the heart. I felt like it had a lot of meaning, so I was like, yeah, I like it. And then as soon as I made it, I was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Just locked it in.
They were talking about a potential name called Sexual Instinct, but
we never did anything.
Never came to fruition, man.
That could be
maybe a side project.
That's
the hardcore side project.
The hardcore side project.
Yeah. At the Sexual Instinct show, like, you can go as crazy as you want. We don't care there.
It all happens in the mind. It's all mental.
Now, guys, you did talk about performing for the first time. Were you guys nervous, scared, or what were you feeling?
I was a little bit nervous, to be playing in front of people that I personally knew pretty well. It's college, so how you play, you're going to get some kind of reputation for it. But ultimately, as soon as we hit that first note, the crowd was already going wild. So it was just a fun ride after that.
And you guys didn't like stutter?
I mean,
what was this note again?
Personally, kind of right before we played the first note, I was sort of kind of panicking, but then as soon as we started, I just felt it, it just felt good from there.
I didn't panic at all because I had a beatbox beforehand, 11.1% alcohol, and I was feeling really good, so I was very confident. I had performed there before, but I was still a little nervous though, a little bit nervous.
It was really hot and sweaty in there too,
Oh,
and I was hoping I didn't lose a drumstick.
Terrible. It was terrible.
It was fine, yeah.
Now, do you guys, is there any ritual or any, do you guys practice anything before you go on and perform? Do you take a little shot?
Oh, I see. Oh, Oh yeah.
We
yeah.
all. So
we
our
get like
thing-
some tall boys.
Yeah, well, our thing is like drink like 1 or 2 beers.
Yeah.
Just enough to like get kind of buzzed, you know.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just not like absolutely drunk.
Yeah.
Just to loosen us up, and then we're like yeah, we're ready to go.
Yeah, like I don't want to be like, I mean, John Bonham for Led Zeppelin, great drummer and everything, but don't really want to get that, like that. But I'd say mostly it's afterwards, like after the show, the pressure's off, like, oh, that was a ton of fun, and what else to do with the night, kind of, So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as far as like rituals, like. I mean, not really. We'll make sure to like practice shortly beforehand, like the day before, or maybe even like 2 hours before the show. We'll slip in a quick practice. But
I'd say if you want to call this a ritual, talking to some old guys about fishing outside of the bar or something.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Now, as the vocalist, do you prepare your
whatever that is. I don't even know. Do I prepare?
Soft palate.
Yeah, so I am like singing all day long. Like I sing all the time to myself, even when I'm just like walking around. And I feel like that warms me up most of the time. But sometimes, sometimes it's just not all warmed up. Sometimes it's a little like, I don't know what the word is, thin. So I do like, I don't even really do much. I'll usually like sing really hot, try to sing as high as I can, try to sing as low as I can, and then I'll try to do a few like growls because that really loosens things up. Nothing too crazy. I just feel like the growling, especially the like low, like doing that a lot.
Yeah,
really
should
like
show us what you mean by that.
I just did it.
A little louder.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I do that in private. It's really embarrassing.
When you have the sexual instinct.
Yeah, that's the growl I do. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, and alright, so you guys earlier mentioned like your music you guys make is not really raging. Like, what would you say the type of genre you guys want to play?
Well,
It's a loaded question, honestly.
we're kind of so like eventually we're coming out with another album. I don't know when. But it's gonna be similar to the vibe that we already got going on. And then the album after that, we kind of want to pick it up a little bit. Like we want to go a little more high octane.
Yeah.
Like garage punk.
Garage punk kind of vibe.
Yeah, the genre we've got now is it's very groovy. It's very like groove rock. And then the all the new songs, they're very indie. They're very like, a lot of chorused out guitar and, nothing too crazy or like crunched out or like a lot of distorted guitar really. It's very vibey. It's very like laid back, a lot of bass. There's a lot of bass guitar involved.
I really think that we do have our sound. We've kind of found our sound, and it's going to be somewhat simple of a transition. But yeah, getting into some more grungy kind of garage rock. But also, I mean, Mason and I were talking the other day, and we kind of just want to experiment a lot, kind of more down the road. But we were even talking about, maybe trying out a country song or something, or like just
folky stuff. Really anything. I just feel like there's so much diversity with the music we've got going on. Like there's a couple songs coming out soon. We've got planned to come out soon, and one of them is, it's like rock music. The other one's pretty twangy, honestly. So like there's a lot of directions you can go, and I think it all fits. So we're very happy about that.
Don't want to be tied down to genre.
No,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I feel like with a band, bro, you could do a lot.
Right.
A whole lot.
I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Too.
Yeah, we got little bits and pieces of each of our styles when we play live, and it's so different, so interesting to see like what I made personally, and then that gets translated into like a whole band, and it sounds so different, but in the best way possible. It sounds so great.
And one thing that's great that Mason lets us do is kind of like make our own little licks or riffs in the songs, kind of make it our own too, which is really nice too. It sounds somewhat the same, but it's like a completely different song at the end of the day.
Yeah. All of us have at least like one or two parts or a couple parts that like we were like, what if we did this? And then that's kind of what we stuck to,
Mhm.
you know. I think that's really cool about it. There's a lot of flexibility to this music that we bring to the table.
Now, for the sour acid moon right syrup,
Mhm.
how long did that take you?
That the album Sour Acid Moonrise Syrup, that took me.
And that's an interesting name.
Yeah. I was on one when I made that. Probably in total about 8 months of writing and recording nonstop. I just like come like, you know, I'd be thinking about it at work. You know, what do I do with this part? And I'd be listening to like the demos, and I'd be like, all right, I gotta change this up. And then as soon as I'd get home, shower, and then on Ableton all night. You know, just going and going and going with that. It was my first time really coming out like messing with a DAW really, and learning it all too. So yeah, it was like 8 months of just straight working on it, pretty much.
And this guy, I mean, he writes pretty quickly. I mean, he'll come out with a song in like a few days, and I'm like, dang, and he'll have it ready for us to you know, make our own and everything.
Dude,
it's unbelievable.
Mason, you're kind of weird, bro. like it's kind of scary, like how fast he like picks up on something, and he just like, cause like him and I, like we were friends like when he first kind of started like messing with production, and it seemed like within a week he already had it down. Like it was so fucking weird, dude. Like I don't understand.
And with lyrics too. You're a great lyrical writer as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know with me, one thing I've struggled with, like especially lyrical writing, is being able to make it flow without rhyming. And a lot of the time, I'll just go back to like a rhyme. Like if this ends in C, then I'll end it in B or something. And your ability to just make it flow without having to rhyme is really creative too. And I think it's really great for us too, because you can go in a lot of different directions with that as well. And I know you kind of like to mix it up. Like you'll write lyrics first and then melodies, or sometimes you'll write chords and melodies and then add lyrics to it too.
Sometimes it's a beat first.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
That's one thing I personally struggle with, because I like to write too, but usually I find myself coming up with some kind of rhythm and then chords, and which is, you know, it's fine, and you can definitely make great music doing that, but there's also a lot more creativity you could use by just mixing it up, trying different things first. So.
And how long does it take you guys as a group or by yourself to approve a song? Like, okay, yeah, that one's fire.
I'd say not too long.
No.
Yeah,
Just
it's almost
mostly-
like instant. Like,
Yeah.
Mostly because the songs we have or the ideas we have seem to always be pretty good, and we all, you know, like similar styles of music and
Right.
respect each other's styles. So.
Yeah, and I think it's like you kind of know if it's like, yeah, we want it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, from the first time you hear it, you're gonna know you want it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like I'll come to practice every once in a while. I'll be like, check out this riff, guys. A lot of my riffs are kind of heavier, more for like our garage rock album that we're gonna come out with in the future.
Yeah.
But
And even just like jamming too.
jamming, yeah.
And we had found something last night when we were practicing too, and I was just like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down a beat and then just start jamming to it, and sounded awesome. I
Yeah.
hope you remember it, because I didn't
I do.
record it.
I
but,
do remember it. Yeah.
We have lots of just ideas that we can use and turn into something really good too. And I just think all of our musical talents and capabilities just makes it a whole lot easier to come up with more ideas and expand on ideas that are already there.
Now, guys, I don't know if you want to play a song and you tell me a little bit about it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Which one?
Yeah, I got your whole album picked up, and then on YouTube, or we could go to Spotify, whatever you're comfortable with. But you name the song, we'll play it, and then
I'm gonna let Mason pick that one.
Go ahead.
It's a
It's
hard
hard.
choice.
Yeah, because you guys got 10 tracks.
Yeah. You know, I think Ghost Dog's pretty cool.
It's my favorite song.
Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a pretty long song.
You don't have to play the
long,
whole thing. Yeah.
Instrumental intro. So if you want, like bits and pieces, if
Yeah,
you
that'd be
want,
great.
yeah.
You don't
It's
have to,
it's a 5.5 minute song, roughly. Yeah.
Yeah, 5:48.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're gonna play Ghost Dog.
You get to listen to the headphones too.
Yeah, Ghost Dog. Yeah, Ghost Dog.
Yeah, so tell me about it. Why Ghost Dog?
Okay, so honestly, the title has nothing to do with what the song means. There's this movie called Ghost Dog, and it's just badass. And I was like, well, this song's badass, and it gave me the same vibe. I was like, it just was cool. It gave me the, like, what I imagined this song playing during that movie. So I named it Ghost Dog because I just thought it was like, it was like, oh, I could see that. It sounds really cool. So yeah, not really any deep meaning to the name in particular.
What about the lyrics?
Lyrically, yeah. So starting out, I wrote the beginning of that song as just an intro to the whole album, and then I was like, well, let me try a little bit of other stuff, whatever. So then it came into a whole song, and the song is kind of like the literal like intro, kind of like an overarching theme of the whole album. You know, it's about it's about that like state of like, you know, when you get too fucked up and you just make dumb decisions, or all those thoughts you think when you're like really messed up, really drunk, really high, whatever, on a lot of drugs, whatever you are. It's just like that state, and the lyrics are like, you know, kind of about like always being down to like go wherever and like get fucked up. That's what it's really about. It's always being like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna, like, anytime someone asks, like, you're gonna go do it.
It's like
yeah.
what Jonas is about to be in a hot minute here.
Yeah, just like Jonas, yeah, exactly. So
it's very fitting. Jonas.
Yeah, I'm totally down for a little sip. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take some.
That's very fitting for this album here. Yeah, that kind of the, you know. Oh, Jose Cuervo, baby, let's go. I'm a Jack Daniels guy. That's me. Thank you.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Just ashes?
I'll take some whiskey.
All right.
I'm gonna take.
I was just making sure. I wasn't sure, like, if you're just showing me or.
No, that's a Costa Drew.
All right, it's cool, man. I dig that.
Thank you.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, usually I have the alcohol for my guests because I don't drink.
Oh wow. I don't feel you.
I don't feel you.
Hey, you ain't gonna have that protein synthesis stopped anytime.
Hey, shut up.
Alright guys, now I definitely want to head into my favorite song, man. Obviously you guys know it's a recent. Absolutely one of my
Haha, let's go.
I don't know why.
This is such a good song. Cool to be like, yeah, I play this.
A lot of music I have recorded. It's kind of like a time trip because it's like capturing a moment in time. And like just any song you listen to, you know, like, I don't know, 70s or something, you're listening to
And I've always thought that, like, that made me think, like, a lot of musicians who are celebrities, they're all friends with other musicians. And that makes me think, like, if they're friends, like, is it really the same as listening to, like, an artist who you don't know who's kind of more, like, kind of different, you know what I mean? A little bit like that, so it's
I
cool.
never thought of it.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
cool.
know. I'm kind of stoned, so I just like came up with it. Yeah. But what was that?
Keep going.
But yeah, personally, my favorite song on the album would probably have to be Little Shuttles. Like, we haven't played that one live yet, but I just like how it's like the.
You like the bass line, yeah. You like the bass. Of course, the bassist likes the bass, right?
That's
Yeah.
one of my
I mean the bass line, but the guitar too. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty smooth.
I also
like
really
it
like that
when it's
song,
smooth
yeah.
and tight. Hell yeah.
All Night is really
Dang, bro,
enhances
that's
the
so
bass
fun.
line too, and I know you probably like that one.
Huh?
All Night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably got to be my top 3 as well, too. But, Sweet, I think overall, kind of just the feel and emotion of it. I think it's probably the most like emotional song that you've written too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, bro. What happened, bro?
Oh yeah. Let me get into it. Oh, I'd love to get into this. No. It's about a relationship that went southward. It's like someone starting to see another dude, and you kind of see them around, and you're like, wait, I've never seen that guy before. She like missed my show to go do something with this guy that I found out about, and like it was just not cool, and like I had to write a song about it because it was like a really shitty time of my life, and it's just like all of the dreams that like you had, like they're not as sweet as you think they are, like that's what that means. And then the rest of like the verses and stuff are just kind of about like that time, yeah, that's kind of what it's about. And
I hope we're not bringing it back.
no, I'm just trying to I'm trying to think of the lyrics. Yeah, it's just a rough relationship, getting fucked over. It happens to everybody. I think that's why a lot of people like that song.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very relatable, so yeah, maybe it's easier to let go.
I would say, bro. I'll say it off camera, but definitely dope song, man.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Now, is there a third song you want to put on?
All Night. Actually, I don't know if you could play a song from not that album, but if you just wanted to focus on that album.
No, fine. Whatever, bro.
Which one?
I was
because you guys got 2 singles.
Yeah.
You want to play Changer because you like Changer. I don't want to play that.
No, that's fine.
No, I don't want to. That's so like it just reminds me of just like old music I used to make. I mean, it's on there. I never took it off. But.
Personally, my favorite is Up There. Up There is amazing. I love that
Go
song.
What were
check
you
out
gonna
Changer though too.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say why do you feel like that?
It just feels like.
I've been there with shit. Bro.
Yeah, it just feels juvenile almost. It just reminds me of my my juvenile type of writing. Like the lyrics to me like irk me a little bit, but like they didn't irk me at the time. I'd like the instruments and stuff. It's very me still, but it's just like the lyrics. I'm just like, oh, like you couldn't have thought of anything better. It just reminds me of like how I used to write and compared to how I write now. And it just is like I don't know. It just I don't hate this song or anything. It just to me is very like of a juvenile period of writing for me.
No, again, right. I've done plenty of shit where I'm not proud of.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's just the thing of like being a creator / artist.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big part.
Because then you improve and you try to get better and get back.
Right.
You have kind of a new method of writing lyrics.
Yeah.
Right? And you told me about this too. You like sit outside.
Yeah.
Watch
Kind
the
of.
sunset.
It's very like, yeah.
So
Being outside helps a lot with writing my lyrics. Being out in like nature. Being out in the middle of nowhere where I live, best place to write lyrics. It's just you watch the sunset. You got your little notepad out. You got a guitar. It's perfect. It's perfect.
You have a shroom?
Yeah.
I only did it once, bro, but I
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
That
so
one
good.
night, Mason.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
That's
Oh.
the next song, That One Night.
That one night, yeah.
I personally I think All Night's a good one to play.
All night's good, yeah.
Wait, so you didn't want to play a single Up There or Charger?
We can do Up There. I like Up There.
I
too.
love Up There, dude.
Yeah, let's do Up There.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those little noises in the beginning.
Oh,
Like the white noise, yeah.
Gotta get out of here, gotta get off of my phone. I don't need another warning sign. Tell me I'm further behind. Where did everybody go? Guess I'll do it on my own. Get a little something strong. Do it all on my own. Do it all on my own. On my own. Shatter the glass and extract the heart off the wall. Spend a little of my soul. But if it makes you feel better, if you feel something, let it solve your obsession. Cure stimulation. Live in the moment. 'Cause when you're up this high, ain't nobody else around. Get your head above the clouds for a little while. She said, you're gonna drink yourself to death. You've got it easy there. So what are you trying to get? Baby, I know what says I got to take it slow. When it's right in front of me, I can't say no. Baby, I gotta go, gotta take it slow. Gotta get up before I get low. Gotta move on before I get too close. Before I get too close. It makes you feel better if you feel something. Let it solve your obsession, your stimulation. Live in the moment, 'cause when you're up this high, ain't nobody else around. Get your head above the clouds for a little while. 'Cause when you're up this high, ain't nobody else around. So head above the clouds for a little while.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Up There.
Amazing song. Love that.
That's actually the first one I wrote for this album. Actually, yeah, that was it. I got actually, weirdly enough, for that song, I got inspiration from a folk song. So I thought that was weird. It doesn't sound anything like a folk song. I started off with that acoustic guitar like like that, and then it turned into that, and I was just like, all right, I fuck with it, so I just kept it.
Any way it takes, right?
Right, any way it takes you. Exactly.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
AI
funny.
generated.
It was a great compliment. It was a great compliment for sure.
Where do you prefer people to check you out? Like Spotify?
Spotify, iTunes. I think it's on iTunes. I don't think the name has changed.
Yeah.
I think that on iTunes it's still Mason Gray, which is my name, but I changed it a long time ago on DistroKid to the Nova Certainty Project. So like, it's definitely the Nova Certainty Project on Spotify. It might be Mason Gray on iTunes, but I would say just look up Sour Acid Moonride Syrup. It's probably hard to forget. You can just look that up on Spotify, iTunes. I think it's on Bandcamp. I'm not sure.
It's on YouTube too.
YouTube, yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, guys, this question is easy. If you guys want to answer it, when you guys are not making music, man, what are you guys doing?
Well, we're still in college too, so it's usually studying or hanging out with college friends and stuff. I play baseball, so I play baseball on the side, and but you know, when we're together, we you know, just have a fun time hanging out.
Now, man, ask, bro, like, is college really like Neighbor, fucking, you know, the movie Neighbors?
I don't think I've seen that.
I have.
Neighbors,
I
yeah.
don't know what
I
you're
think I've
talking.
seen
Yeah.
that,
Or like any frat movie ever?
No.
No.
No,
No.
God.
Is it okay? I
No.
know what you mean, like the party culture and everything. I'd say at Beloit specifically, it's not like your huge rager party school.
No, not at all.
Although, you know, there are parties and stuff, but you know, there's security, just
Nah.
keeping everyone safe.
The
making
frat
sure
parties
everyone's
there are lame as hell.
Yeah.
There's everybody just I can't stand going to them. Like Jonas and I went to one together, and then we sat there and everybody's going like, hey, 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 and there's like not that many people there, and Jonas and I are like, hey, let's go get a couple tall boys and dish this place, bro. This is so lame. We just got fucked up.
It's something like out of a TV show, bro.
Hanging out with these guys is infinitely better than going to a college party there, I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think the most fun spot at college is where we had our first show, which is Coffee House too, which is it's the bar, there's pool tables.
It's a campus bar and venue
music.
that brings in a bunch of different bands from just kind of nearby, like Madison and Milwaukee and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but speaking of that, we should probably plan something to do this summer. I mean, you're in Chicago, so
Yeah.
a Chicago trip might be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's the cool thing about our band is like we're all homies too, you know, like we're all
Very
tight.
much.
Yeah.
And like we like being around each other. Like there's a lot of bands out there that don't have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just like it's strictly business. Yeah, it's super weird.
I actually hate Brandon.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No. Mason can't fucking stand that guy.
Even though Brandon's the oldest guy in our band, he's still the baby of the group.
Okay, alright, buddy.
Just kidding. We call him that because he has probably the most rigorous job of all of us, which is working on airplanes.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah.
So
That's what he
I
does
make
in
airplane
his free
parts.
time. He works.
Yeah, I make airplane parts for the government.
This guy's a narc.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, as far as what I do, other than music, I mean, play video games. Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, I play like a lot of nerdy ass games, like
Sims?
RPGs.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of like the Souls games, Fallout. Yes, Fallout's my
Oh, I
favorite
love
game of all
Fallout.
time.
Dude, I bought 76 knowing it was trash.
Yeah.
I still love it.
Yeah,
Do you-
dude.
do you like it?
Same thing.
Yeah? No, you don't like it? Dang.
No.
It wasn't great for TV.
Buggy mess. Terrible. Shouldn't have happened. Yeah, Fallout, like the Dark Souls games, Elden Ring.
What is it?
Are you guys video game players?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Skyrim is my big one. I
Skyrim,
love
yeah.
I used to
Skyrim.
play that.
I bought it late, but I don't get it. I don't get the magic. Like, the silver.
The magic is not really.
Magic's not the reason you play that one.
You just
Yeah.
pick a build, and then you stick with it, and you get good. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to go melee in that game. My personal opinion.
I love Skyrim. I love it.
I played.
Fallout was easier for me.
Fallout,
dude,
yes.
Fallout 4 was one of my favorite games. I love 4.
Yeah. Personally, Fallout New Vegas is my favorite.
Of course it is.
Best one. Yeah. Easily.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, I grew up on Call of Duty.
I actually, because I just recently hopped on the PC bandwagon, like maybe 3 years ago. Like, whatever, dude. Whatever. What are you laughing at, dude?
This is so dumb to say.
Yeah, I know. I feel like a jackass saying that.
The PC
Anyway,
bandwagon.
The PC bandwagon, by the way. AKA, I just bought a computer. But, yeah, I got Black Ops 3, and I play a lot of, like, the custom zombie maps. It's kind of what I've been doing on repeat lately. Just custom maps.
I love that.
Yeah.
Gotta shout out Minecraft though.
Oh, I love Minecraft. I still play
That
it.
game never
Dude,
gets old.
I have
Still
a
play it.
strangely faint memory of being in a Xbox party with you, Mason. And
Before we even really knew each other.
yeah, before we even knew each other, I was probably in like 6th grade, 7th grade, and this guy, he fucking, you know, the first town that you go to in Skyrim, I forget what it's called. What's it
White
called?
Run. It's
White
White
Run.
Run. So White Run in Skyrim.
This
yeah.
guy, in like 7th, 6th grade, he built an entirely like exact replica of White Run. I was like, what is wrong with this
after
guy?
school? I would like get on Minecraft and build, and I build it all in survival mode too. And I had a guy that would mine stuff for me.
This is
Let's
what
go
I
mine the
need,
stuff.
bro. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I get like when I get into something, I get really into
Dude, he
something.
just locks in. It's so weird, bro.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Minecraft, bro. I thought it was the stupidest game, bro, because my nephew wanted it. I bought it for him. I was like, bro, this game's stupid. I started playing it, bro.
Hooked.
Yeah.
Hooked.
Dude.
Yeah, we all thought it was stupid at first. Yeah.
Speaking of the music on Minecraft,
Oh, dude.
insane.
Oh, the soundtrack is awesome.
I think
The
it's kind
soundtrack.
of creepy, bro. Honestly. Like,
I love it.
like sometimes it's so nice, and then it just switches, and sometimes when you're alone playing it at night, it kind of like freaks you out a bit, bro.
Dude, you're the creepy one.
Yeah, bro. Hey, bro, you know it's kind of true, bro.
Creepers
Like
are kind of
Minecraft.
creepy by definition.
Well, you're the one that has the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
Hey, bro, I got new lenses coming in though. They're already at the glasses place. I got the crystal ones this time, so you're gonna see me with a different pair.
Oh, man.
And those glasses, it was all good. It was all good. No one cared until that fucking TV show came out. Like everyone,
Dahmer
yeah,
or whatever,
bro.
yeah.
There was a shift in the dynamic. Cause I had like the old school like 70s, 80s glasses, bro, like the Jeffrey Dahmer ones. And then after that show came out, bro, like even I noticed it. Even I noticed it. So I was like, eventually, like I just didn't want to wear them no more, man. Like it just
Yeah. Well, they look
Like-
good on you. They're alright.
yeah.
Hey, fuck it, bro.
Fuck, who
it,
cares?
bro. Yeah,
you look
who
like a serial
cares,
killer.
And besides gaming,
Besides gaming and yeah, since I graduated, I'm just working at a golf course, and then I just work out. And that's all my life is, really. It's pretty boring. And then just music, otherwise, in my free time.
Gotta get on the grind.
Yeah, fitness, big into fitness.
well, I mean, I don't know nothing about fitness. But yeah, guys, I definitely don't want to take any more of your time. It's about an hour.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Went by fast.
That did go by fast,
Very
actually.
fast.
Wow.
Very fast.
Yeah, man, I hope this isn't the last, man.
No, I hope.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate you having
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for giving
Thank
us.
you guys
Nice.
for coming, man,
Yeah,
to
man.
organize like a 4-man thing. All right, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We make the time for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
this is all of our first podcast that we've been on. Is that right?
It's mine.
It's actually my second. I was actually.
Well, it's
Was it-
actually it's my
actually
second.
my second. I was well, okay. It wasn't really a.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I was in another band for a while. It was called Shadows of Atlas. They were more like progressive metal, but we were like on a radio show, like a local like college radio show out in like buttfuck Wisconsin. So, I mean, it was cool.
gross.
It was okay. Seriously, seriously, Mason. Anyway,
Ram Ranch.
it was Ram Ranch. How do you know? What?
Dude, I was just guessing.
Dude, there's no way.
It's a great song, all right?
All right. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I actually had one other.
Yeah, Brandon is that guy. Hey, wait.
Actually, guys.
Actually, yeah. That's
Actually,
But I'm just glad. Hopefully, I just made the experience.
Oh,
No,
it was great.
absolutely.
It was super
It's-
chill. I loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah, this is
There's
great.
not that many out here.
Yeah, right.
There is some, but few.
The one I went to was uptight. I felt uncomfortable the whole time. I feel comfortable here.
With me, again, is give me your time. If you're like something, that we can talk about. Besides a 9 to 5, I mean, I'm down, but
Yeah.
9 to 5 has to be like you work at a strip club and it's crazy,
Right.
or something. But as long as you give me your time, I always appreciate it.
Awesome. No, we really appreciate it. It's so fun.
I've checked out some of your art, by the way. It's awesome. It's really cool. It's very creative.
have you done any art around here in some of these years?
The room in here is the stuff
That's
like
cool. I was just telling Jonas how cool all this stuff was.
Oh, this stuff is incredible, man.
first time on the wall too.
I don't know if you've ever been to like Oakland or San Francisco back in California, but there's all like kinds of artwork like just on the walls and everything. It'll just blow you away.
No, I've been to once in Chicago, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these
Super
ones. These ones right here, those are great.
Oh, those are the Vibe guys.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
Yeah, bro.
Those are so cool. Awesome.
Super cool.
Yeah, but again, yeah, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you want to say your socials, if you have any socials.
Yeah. The Nova Certainty Project on Facebook, and
And it's Instagram is _NCP.
Thank you, Micah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it so far, really.
Yeah. Hit
Yeah,
Mason
we don't
up
really-
on Tinder.
Yeah, just find me somehow, I guess.
keep
yeah,
swiping.
Yeah.